make all separate documents? Possibly.
Hey everybody, it's 7 o'clock, top of the hour. The Suzette Veneti show is going to be getting started in just a couple minutes. Take the opportunity to share the links around. Get all your friends and get nice and comfy, get your snacks. Suzette Veneti will begin in, let's call it, 3 minutes.
So hypothetically, if the laptop was creating okay, well, we can figure out how to play with that. Oh, I knew it would make it. I was just curious. Give me a minute. Let me check a message from Chelsea. If you happen to notice any problems with my boots, just flag me and let me know. Okay. Yeah, you did. I'm in. I'm good. Yeah.
I mean, it's in the middle of it. It's a song break. We might as well take it, right? All right. We ready? Here we go. Oh, I forgot about the theme song, too. Oh, man. I don't even have that ready either.
That's all right.
It's a cluster.
No one will care if we start a little late. Let's play the theme song. And
All right.
Give us a second.
Then let me get the pre-show back on.
I might have uploaded a link. Oh, but you still have to download. Sorry. Yeah. I have a hot mic. If you're watching the pre-show and waiting for the Suzette Veneti show, we are going to be starting shortly. I am so sorry, but I promise this will be worth the wait. We're just finishing up the set. We did some construction this week, and the set is looking amazing. Is it? So this is the part of the show where there's a theme song, and it like she's a hot mess, and I don't know the real words, so it's just like she's a hot mess because she's Suzette. And
that's all right. It's one of the things, and we can try again, or
Okay.
we can just go to the show.
no, let's try it one more time.
All right, we
Yeah.
can do it. We're gonna make this clean, guys.
Okay.
One sec.
Here comes the theme song. Are you guys ready? Okay, so oh wait, we still have a theme song coming. Hold on, guys. This is a problem in that we just did a sex show, and this is a problem in the bedroom sometimes when like sometimes it just takes time to be ready. and things should be going out and they're not, and things should be coming in and they're not, and it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And that's why it's important to have a good sexual compatible relationship.
You were a problem child, been grounded your whole life, so now you run wild.
Welcome to the virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the Suzette Veneti Show, finally. So please welcome to your screen, Suzette Veneti! Oh, wait, there's that. We got the... I'm sorry, God. Here she is. Before the show gets muted, Suzette Veneti.
All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Suzette Veneti Show. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We have a set. That's part of the reason. Look how beautiful it is. Isn't it beautiful? It's almost as beautiful as I am. Anyway, I'm going to not do a monologue this week because we'd only have the sitting set. But I just, in case Betty Booger is watching, I brushed a hair, okay? Like, I took a brush and I brushed one hair the way that you're supposed to brush hair because you told me I need to brush my hair. Anyway, are you guys ready? We're going to start the show. And I have a segment for you called Pen Pals. So, Jesse, are you reading half or am I reading all of it?
Let's see. I'll bring the Pen Pals up here. 1 second. I can read the one half if you'd like.
Yes, please.
All right. So the first half, yes?
Yes, please.
All right. You want more of an introduction to the segment?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, these are letters. One letter and then a response letter. And that's the segment called Pen Pals. You'll get the idea. You got it. You're smart. We have smart viewers, not stupid viewers.
Nailed it.
Here we go.
All right. Let me get over. Dear state governors, I, President Donald J. Trump, not going to do a voice here, am the President of the United States. I have tremendous power and absolute authority over all of the states. It says so in the Constitution. Ever hear of it? We will reopen because I have declared it. Governors, I know a couple hundred of you will disagree with me, but you have to do what I say because I am the leader of the United States of America. You are all states, therefore, I'm in charge.
Dear President Trump, there are 50 of us, and actually we have total authority over our states. Okay, bye, governors of the United States of America. So that's how it works. Okay, the next letter.
All right. Scrolling. To who it may concern. This is all a liberal hoax designed to undermine our president. What is that? Firecracker, explosion, eagle, water gun, America.
Dear America, the Who.
Dear who? Who are you? America.
Dear America, the World Health Organization. Who?
Dear every American, please stay home. We're overburdened and don't have enough space or room for people to get sick from congregating. Hospitals.
Yo, hospitals. They see the picture, right? Okay, cool.
Make sure.
Yeah, there's a picture.
Yeah, there it is.
Dear hospitals, hang loose, Florida.
Hey, future voters of America, it's 2010. We're watching The Apprentice right now, and we have to say Donald Trump looks like he could be president one day. He seems really no business. Some people watching The Apprentice in 2010.
Dear people watching The Apprentice in 2010, sincerely 2020. So that was a segment called Pen Pals. I'm going to assume that everyone's laughing and wildly cheering and loving that at home. Because there just wasn't a lot of news like that was good for a monologue. Like, we could talk about injecting yourself with UV light or Lysol or anything. if you want to inject yourself with that stuff, there's probably someone down in an alley that can inject you with all sorts of stuff. So go to them first before you start just injecting yourself with Lysol and hand sanitizer. That's all that you're going to get from me on that. We are going to bring in our next segment contributor, Ellis Rodriguez. Ellis, can you hear me? Oh. Hold on, Ellis. We're coming to you.
But he is nowhere near his screen.
Oh. Okay. Well, if we don't have Ellis... Oh, his bandwidth is low. Sorry, guys. More technical difficulties. Gonna line up a guest for you right here. Okay, we're gonna bring in Clifton. We're gonna do What's the Tea with Clifton. Okay. Can you hear me, Clifton? Oh.
He's muted.
You're muted. I can't hear you.
I gotta bring him up. Then we'll pin him there. And there's Clifton. All right.
Cliffy, can you hear me?
Oh, God damn it.
Oh.
What's going on?
This is what doing a show in the digital age is all about. Sometimes there's difficulties and sometimes things run smoothly. Clifton?
Hey, y'all.
Ah.
How you doing?
That is the sweetest sound I've ever heard. How are you?
I'm good. A little drunk, but I'm good, you know.
That's okay. So is our equipment.
Sunday at home.
So what's the tea this week, Clifton?
Oh, girl. White folks have been wilding. Y'all need to calm down. Because there's this bitch that is in Idaho that goes by the name of motherfucking Sarah Brady. This dumb bitch, she was at a park. And you know, we're all supposed to be locked in. Hi, Robbie, get out of the frame. See, this is what I have to deal with all day. Little cameos for my cat. Anyways, she went to the park and she calls herself trying to have fun with her kids. And it's about, you know, her and about 4 of the Karens and all their kids out there. And the police were like, hey, y'all gotta go home. But no, Miss Susan was like, I don't want to go home. I'm practicing my rights. Da-da-da-da. So Miss Susan learned how it feels to be a minority in America and got her ass locked up. And then they're following her and like, how could you do this? How could you do this? And it's just like, you can't be kicking it at a closed park. We're supposed to be in quarantine. We're supposed to be inside, indoors, locked up. But no, she wants to be outside. And she learned a lesson, and now she's trying to cry and, you know, shed the tears and everything. And the internet is ablaze about her. And honestly, it's very funny. Like, I have just got the biggest laugh watching this lady just get arrested and just seeing all the comments and everything. And oh, Lord. And it's
Robbie.
just one of those moments of just.
Is it Black Twitter? Is Black Twitter on her?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They already have a name for her already.
Oh, what's her name?
Swing Set Sarah.
That's
But
a good
you know,
one.
it's just it's just always funny to see people that think that they can get away with things, and no, you going to jail, sis. You are going to jail, and it was just the most glorious thing I've seen in the last few weeks. You know, besides the people wanting to inject themselves with Tide and Clorox because a man with the wig in the White House told us to do that, but you know, we know better than to do that. But people in New York have seen over 97 cases of people injecting themselves with bleach because the man in the White House said to do so with UV lights and everything. Girl, it's a mess, and that's why I've been drunk every day.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and speak for everybody else that's not injecting themselves. If people want to inject themselves with bleach, go on ahead, baby. Inject yourself with
Let 'em.
bleach. Yeah. Just
More
make sure you
parking
do it
spaces
now.
for us.
Don't do it after November. Do it right now. Go ahead. Inject yourself. That's not me telling you to do it. That's just me supporting your right to do it. It's your body, your choice. Inject yourself with bleach.
And I have one last thing to talk about.
Please.
You know, since we're all locked in the house, we all have our own ways of dealing with the time amongst ourselves. I have a PSA. Mind your motherfucking business. If I want to sit and play Animal Crossing all day, let me play Animal Crossing all day. Don't be in my Facebook comments talking about, you should be learning a skill. You should be learning a hobby. Yeah, I learned a goddamn skill and hobby. I'm collecting all these damn turnips and shit so I can take it to Tom Nook and collect my coins and rebuild my house. Mind your business.
I was just a little bit scared when you started that thread of thought, because I was like, oh shit, because we live like next to each other, and Clifton was like, mind your business, and I was like, I have been.
Oh no, you good, baby, you good. You know, you don't look into my. It's not like Melissa Etheridge. You're not coming to my window, even though I could look out my window and I could see you, a beautiful woman standing outside my window with the wig. But no, you're a wonderful neighbor.
Oh, thank you.
I wish you'd been my neighbor for life.
Oh, thank you. I love being your neighbor.
Yes.
That was
even
the
though you hear me being loud and ghetto all day, but hey.
That we did have a guy in the alley the other night, and he was.
Oh Lord.
He was shirtless, and Clifton messaged me and was like, "Do you hear what's going on?" And I looked out my window because I have a better view of the alley, and I was like, "Okay, there's a white guy, and he's shirtless, and he's negotiating a price. ... with himself, because I thought someone was with him, because he was like talking like off to the side, and he was like, I can't go that high, I can't get that amount of money right now. And then I was like, oh, he's talking to himself.
He was playing Animal Crossing, but in the real world.
Right?
He was negotiating the prices of his turnips because he wanted to upgrade his house, but he didn't realize that he wasn't playing on the Switch. He was playing on the Switch in his head. He's ahead of us.
He's gonna go to Jail Island is where he's gonna go, so you better watch out. Thank you for bringing the tea this week, Clifton. Love you.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Suzette.
Yes, Ellis.
What up?
What's up? Sorry about that.
I was trying to say hi.
You were trying to what?
I was trying to say hi.
Oh yeah.
When you were looking for me.
We were looking for you. We wanna do your segment.
Yeah.
Okay. So
let's do our segment.
Why don't you tell everyone what your segment is?
My segment is Go Drunk America, You're Home. All right? And I don't want to be shamed. People that are drinking the go-go juice to get moto in these dark times. And so I'm playing a game like a Pee Wee Herman. But you don't know what it is this time, right?
I don't. Are we flashing it on screen?
Every time you say the magic word, I'm gonna take a shot.
So you know the word, and
but you don't know what it is this time, right?
I don't. The viewers are gonna get the word on their screen.
Oh, I know the word.
But I don't have it on my screen, so I have no idea what it will be.
Right?
So this will be a more fair game than last week. Last week we did Tiger King.
I don't believe in this.
You don't believe me?
So anyway, this is you guys. What's up?
Oh, your connection. Are you in a park?
No, I'm not in a park. I'm in a garage.
Oh, okay. I think we got it, though. Did we get his word? Okay, so we got your word, Ellis, and we're going to check back in with you at the end of the show, and then you'll tell me the word? I think we lost him.
Yes.
Oh, Ellis, I love you.
Yeah. I'm going to try to get to a better spot or something.
Okay, cool. We'll check it back in with you at the end of the show.
All right.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. I think let's go with, let's see if Roselia is ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next guest, I should say ladies and gentlemen, peers and queers, the next guest is one of my favorite drag queens. I work with her every chance I get to. She does brunch in my brunch show with me, our brunch show. She does my Queens in Comedy show. She's here now tonight. Sorry, hair in the mouth. She is fantastic. She is amazing. She is Roselia Valentine.
Hi, Suzette. How are you, Angel?
Hi, Rosie. How are you?
I'm doing splendid.
Yeah?
I am here in quarantine, and I have myself a beverage that is just Kahlua and Bailey's, and I am just making the most out of this situation.
I am jealous of your beverage, and I would love to have one. Maybe when the quarantine is over, we can have one together.
Yes, in 2021, once brunch is back, we'll definitely have a drink together for sure.
God. I hope it's just a little bit before 2021. Oh, man. So I wanted to you're actually in a show way before 2021. You're in the Fifth de Mayo show at Latina Cantina Port Bar on Twitch on May 3rd. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Yes, so I did get to work with Port Bar, and they're a bar out of Oakland, really good bar. Work with the Moratis there. We just did the last Latina Cantina digital drag show on Twitch as well. Was such a success, a lot of fun. With Cinco de Mayo coming up, it's a great opportunity to give all these things performers who are currently not doing the gig in a bar to just do whatever they want to do, pre-record it, and have zero limitations on it. And we got to do it again next. So I'm really excited for next Sunday, May 3rd at 5 p.m. to do Latina Cantina with Amoratis and all of the other Latinx girls from the Bay and NorCal. So
Right on.
super
I can't wait to see it.
excited for that.
And it's
especially since I'm Park, I would still do it here.
still with us?
Yes, I am. It broke up
Okay.
just a little.
The connection's going in and out a little bit. Okay.
But I'm here.
Okay, cool. So when you prepare for a show, this is kind of a multi-part question. What's your preparation like to prepare for a drag show, both in person and right now in the digital time? Is it the same? Is it different? What do you do?
So it was breaking up just a little bit there, but I believe I heard you ask my preparation in order to do a drag show. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Perfect. So usually what I like to do is I like to give myself as much time as possible. Realistically, I can get ready and out the door in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But when you're getting ready, I just don't like to be rushed. I like to have a movie or a music on to kind of lounge to. So I usually try to give myself 2.5 to 3 hours if possible. Rarely the case, but now that we're quarantined, I have all the time in the world, so I get to give myself as much time as I want now. But the first thing that I always do is start gluing down my eyebrows because I'm blessed with a Mexican hairline that comes down to my face on the side. I actually have to glue down my sideburns and give myself more face on where my sideburns grow. So it's about a good 20 to 25 minutes of just gluing down all this excess hair on my face. From there, I just do my foundations, do my eye makeup, then finally my nose and my lips. And all of that takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours, like I said. But usually it's because I'm a slow poke. If I have a movie playing or some music playing, then I'm just kind of tuning in and out of doing my makeup to whatever's happening on my computer. So
That probably makes it more fun to
that's
have
usually
like
my preparation.
to have music or a movie playing. That has to make it more enjoyable, right?
Well, yeah, because doing your actual makeup itself, I'm not going to say it's boring, but it's not necessarily exciting. I mean, you're kind of just putting things on and making sure it's going into the right places. Sometimes if Yaya's here and getting painted at the same time, we're talking, but if she's not, then it's otherwise quiet. I mean, you'll hear my AC blowing, and that's not really an atmosphere to, gear yourself up for before you start doing drag. You want to get loose, you want to have fun, you want to just get in your zone. So usually by playing a good album or playing a fun movie that I like really helps getting the blood flowing before I'm actually out doing it.
Right on. So I have seen you perform, I don't know, 1,000 times live in Queens and Comedy and Makeup and Mimosas, and it's always a show. Like that. When people ask me like, oh, what's it like to watch Rosie perform? I'm like, well, she's just an amazing performer. Like she might not, do the dancing moves or but like you can't take your eyes off of her. What is it like to perform digitally? Like, do you find that you're able to, and I'm not saying you can't dance because Lord knows I should tell no one they can't dance. I'm saying you don't have to. Is When you perform digitally, do you feel that sort of whatever you feel when you perform live? Like, are you able to convey that same sort of stage presence?
That's actually a really good question. I've done digital drag twice now with Latina Cantina for Cinco de Mayo coming up. That'll be the third one. But it's definitely different, you know, doing live drag in the clubs or at the comedy club, wherever it may be. It's so much different because you have an audience there to play off their energy. You know, if they're having a good time and you're having a good time, then it can just immediately become like one of the best performances ever. And so there's that give and take, that ebb and flow of energy happening in a live setting. Doing it at home, I'm not going to say, obviously there's not that aspect of it because there's no one else in your home but yourself, but there's a different type of freedom that comes with it. With pre-recorded drag shows, you literally have no excuses. I mean, you can do whatever you want and you can edit it and copy and paste and put all the sparkles on it the way you want that you can't in real life. You know, you can't do cinematography, you can't overlay effects and stuff in real life. So that is something that's really cool, and that I'm seeing a lot of performers really pioneer with the digital drag scene. That's really fucking cool. A good example of that would be, it's not out yet, but Yaya the artist does have a new music video coming out next Sunday as well, and that is going to be literally the perfect example of what I'm saying, that even though we're not in a live setting, there's so many resources that you can still use doing digital drag to still elevate your performances. And you start thinking creatively, not, you know, how am I going to perform this 4-minute song, but rather, how am I going to make a 4-minute video production that's going to make people want to watch this and really compel people, because that's really something you don't get to do in a live setting. I mean, with live setting, you get to do mixes, you get to dance, you get to do comedy. That stuff is really fun, and it lasts, you know, for that number. Doing digital drag is something that can really be transcendent. I think you can really leave a mark, and it's fun seeing people pushing their boundaries right now with what they can do digitally, because the venues are closed down. And what I've seen so far has been really fucking cool. So I'm excited to see what other products come out while we're still quarantined and having to do digital drag.
Yeah, no, I actually like making films and little productions. So I'm excited because this is kind of whetting all the performers' appetites, and so now I'm going to be able to more easily talk people into making videos with me. After we can perform live again, we can all do that. But I feel like if I'm like, hey, do you want to make a video? People are going to say now, like, yes, quicker than they would have before, because it's like the possibilities. You're only limited by your imagination when it comes to a video.
Exactly. And, you know, with how technology has advanced now with smartphones, all these different video editing apps and effects that you can do, there really is no limitation as to what you can do now versus if this were happening 10 years ago and this stuff wasn't at our disposal. I think it's really, really cool that at least while we're quarantined, we have so many fun tools to make art with and still do drag, and hopefully still turn a buck while we're stuck out, not able to get that instant gratification from a live venue. But I mean, it's definitely different, but I don't think different necessarily means bad.
I agree. And the other thing I was going to say is I will have to try to talk to Yaya, the artist, and see if we can get her on the show maybe. I don't know if we could do it the same night, maybe the week after, if not the same night. And maybe we can play her video, because if you're saying it's good, then it must be good. Oh, I think you're frozen. When you are unfrozen...
And, you know...
Oh, it's like freeze tag. So my next question was going to be, what's the coolest thing about doing drag? And I guess we're in a quarantine right now, so I'll ask, what's the coolest... If it's different out, like, in not quarantine, in non-COVID world, and if there's something that's cool... I think you kind of just talked about what's cool doing it digitally. So what's the coolest thing about doing drag globally?
You know, that's a question where I think the answer changes for everybody. And it's different for everyone as well. But for me right now, what I think the best part about doing drag is definitely feeling the freedom of expression, especially when we're talking about being LGBT. You know, when you're putting yourself into like adapting into social norms in everyday life to kind of just get by. You know, you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. You just kind of, you know, you're queer. You don't want that to reflect negatively. You know, there's so much stigma around that. Doing drag, you're literally the center of attention. And I think for me, that is such a release of like, you know, putting up appearances to get through daily life at a boy job and while I'm out on the street and just wanting to mind my own business and not be bugged. But doing drag, you just got to wear whatever you want, do whatever you want, look however you want. And, you know, for someone like me, like gender is something that you're constantly questioning, and, you know, you don't necessarily confine to either boy, girl, you're somewhere in the middle. It's really, really, really liberating to just feel like you're neither boy or girl, but something completely different. I feel like my drag puts me into somewhere where gender doesn't necessarily apply. It's a little bit boy, it's a little bit girl, but at the same time, it's fully me. And I feel like myself while I'm in drag. And that's something that it's just, there's no amount of booking fee or tips that I can make in a night that comes next to that feeling of being yourself when you're in drag.
That's
as funny as that, because you're putting on a character, but it's very liberating.
I think if I was going to explain the same thing you just did, sometimes I tell people it's a little bit like being a superhero with like a secret identity, because you can walk down the street, right, and nobody knows who you are. But if you walk down the street as Roselia, everybody knows who you are. And sometimes superheroes, like their superhero identity is who they really are, and the secret identity is more not who they are. So I think it's kind of the same with drag queens, where sometimes you find that the performance, the queen persona is who they truly are. And sometimes it's more, that's more of a construct than who they are outside of drag. So I'm just glad that you get to feel like you at some point in the day. So that's exciting. What's the worst thing about doing drag? So you just named the best. What's the worst thing?
The clean up. Oh my God, drag is so messy. It is the messiest thing ever. You know, and I'm not just talking about in terms of your work area when you're doing your makeup. I'm saying the taking it off portion. You have glue on your face, in your hair, down there. You have it everywhere. You have nail glue on. You have lash glue on. There's just residual makeup everywhere. You know, I feel like I have to take 2 really good deep showers after doing drag to fully get it off. And it's just, that's far and away my least favorite part. It's just the cleanup.
Yeah.
The mess.
I completely agree. I worked out after the show. We did our last show on a Friday, and I work out on Fridays, and I hadn't done it yet that day, and so I worked out when I got home. And I showered first, and I thought I got all the makeup off, but no, like there was eyeliner still on while I was working out. It was like seeping out of my pores, and I was like, oh yeah.
I believe it. It's a surprise, bitch. Just when you think you're done, nope.
Yep, it keeps pulling you back in. What is the crazy? I'm gonna let you define this. What's the craziest performance you've ever given?
Oh my God. This is probably going to be, for anyone who's seen this number, I've done it a few times. This is far and away my Patti LaBelle's Somewhere Over the Rainbow number that I do. I do a live rendition of Patti LaBelle singing that, where she just goes all over the damn place with her vocals. The reason I think this is my craziest performance is because first of all, I make sure I get very drunk before doing it, because this song is far and away the most high energy song in my repertoire. Second of all, I don't go out there with a plan. I know the word front, back, sideways in English and Spanish, even in hieroglyphics. I know the song well. I know what happens with it. So I don't try to like have this mapped out routine. I just go out there drunk, preparing my body to take the physical toll, because I will throw myself. I use however many muscles are in the human body, I use them, especially my neck muscles, with all the straining for the vocals that I do, even though I'm just lip syncing it. It is physically demanding, and it is very, very fun. And, you know, that's the one that got nominated for me for like the the best of the 2019 showcase that we did last year.
Mhm.
Like that was the one that was voted for my performances as my best one. And I think it was the right one because it's truly, truly crazy.
That is, if anyone was to ask me which performance of yours they should see, that would be the one that I would say would be your Patti LaBelle Over the Rainbow. So I think you're dead on. I have questions from some viewers if you want to field those.
Lay it on me.
Okay.
Let's see what they got.
So this is what is the longest that you've been in drag in one day? And that's from Michael in Sacramento.
Oh, Michael in Sacramento. Longest I've been in drag. That's a good one. This was actually not too long ago. This was sometime last year. So it was a Sunday because I got up at 9 a.m. to do my makeup for brunch show back when we were over at the old venue at noon. So I started getting into drag at about 9:30 a.m. We did brunch, and then I had to hightail it over to Stockton, California, where we had to do this this kind of like theater fundraising show. And that started at about 3 or 4 o'clock or whatever it was. And then at around 7 o'clock when that ended, I had to hightail it back to Sacramento to do Sidetrack Sunday Showcase, which went up until about 10:30, 11. So in total about 12 hours in drag with the same face. I did kind of reapply powder throughout the day, but yeah, that would be the longest I've been in drag. I will say I was tucked, not in the morning for brunch, but when I got to Stockton, I fully tucked with tape and all down there. So I was tucked with tape for that show. On the way back to Sacramento from Stockton, I was still tucked, and then did the show in Sacramento until 10:30 tucked. So that was a long time.
That is a really long time. We need to have like a glossary that we can throw up on screen sometimes, because I don't know if all of our viewers know what tucked is. Do you want to tell them?
Yeah, so there's a million, well, not a million. There's a few different ways to tuck. The easiest way, if you're a queen who wears pads, what you can do is really not have to tuck much at all. If you just kind of like mash it in there, because you're going to wear so many pantyhoses that eventually is going to smooth out that area anyway. That's a really easy tuck that you can get away with. Another tuck that is kind of old school, which is the way I do it, is by using tape. And what you do here is you actually put your two little fellas, if you have them, you put that back up into your abdomen where they go when it's cold. You shove them in there, and then you tape the skin that would hold them around the. I'm trying to be PG friendly here, so I know.
I think you're doing a great job. The bag, you tape the bag that holds the fellas.
We take the bag that holds the fellas. We get a nice big strip of tape, and we grab the fella where the pee comes out from when you have to go number one, and you just get one long strip of tape. You pull it as far back as possible, and the piece of tape is actually gonna stick to the lower back on your backside, and that's gonna be your kind of your guide. Eventually, you just get multiple strips of tape, and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until eventually it's flat looking skin like a Ken doll. And that's how I tuck when I'm gonna do fair leg, meaning no pantyhose, no.
You do have a good tuck. I'll say that. It's a good tuck.
Because I don't have much to tuck. That's why. That's the secret of a good tuck. If
Oh,
you
is
don't have
it?
much to do with.
Well, I mean, I'm sure some queens are growers and some queens are showers, but we've done a good job keeping it PG-13. So I'm gonna move on to the next viewer question. Okay, this one is, Dear Rosie, why the mullet? And that comes from Taryn in Sacramento.
Why a mullet? That's a good question. So, I don't know why I just decided to have a mullet. But I was like, you know what? I don't like having long hair on top anymore. Like, I feel like that's just too childish on me. But I was like, I've been shaving the sides and the back of my head for so long, working in restaurants to kind of look tidier, that I was like, you know what? Now that I have a desk job where my appearance isn't a deciding factor of if I'm going to get tipped by customers or not anymore, I was like, I'm going to grow it out. I'm going to see what's up. And when I had my whole hair kind of the same length, I was like, well, what if we just shave the sides and leave the back long and the top shorter than the back, essentially a mullet. and I thought I looked really fucking bitchin' with it. So I've been rolling with it ever since.
Right on. And then this last one is, Dear Rosie, your favorite performance of yours is Patti LaBelle Over the Rainbow. What's your favorite performance of mine? And that's from Suzette in Sacramento.
From Suzette in Sacramento, my favorite number. I usually am in the bathroom during your number, so I don't know. I'm kidding. I will say, oh God, I don't know the name of the actual song, but it was right there where you were at staff, and you had this full fucking production as a scientist with this little chemistry set. It was so fucking stupid and funny that I was like laughing my ass off in the back. I would say that was my favorite number just because the commitment to it was so. I think it was like a pop song too. It wasn't even like anything sciencey. I was like,
it was
whatever.
It was a song from I think Mass Effect. It was from a video game.
Oh my God! Wow. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
but no, thank you. I obviously, the viewers, I'm sure they all know I'm asking that. I asked myself that question, and then you answered to me, so there's probably no confusion. I just wanted some guidance, and so maybe I'll bring that number back to Makeup and Mimosas when we actually can go back to brunch, if you liked it, because I didn't get any feedback on it.
I think that one was a good one.
Okay, are you ready for rapid fire questions?
I got my rapid fire bulletproof here.
Okay, cool. What is your favorite wig color?
Black.
Do you name your wigs?
No.
How high is too high for heels?
7 inches.
Oh yeah, agreed. Are you a new school or old school queen?
I would say. Wait, what was the question? I think I heard it wrong.
Are you a new school queen or an old school queen?
I would say old school queen.
I would say so too. What is your favorite song to perform to?
Oh, Operate by Peaches.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, 2021, baby.
Okay.
When we're back at brunch, you'll see it then.
Back at Makeup and Mimosas, we're going to see by Peaches. What is your favorite show?
That's a vague question. TV show?
No, to perform in.
Oh, brunch.
Oh,
Hence, barn.
Makeup and Mimosas. What is the coolest thing about dating another drag queen?
Having extra wigs in the house.
Unless you're dating me, and then that wouldn't be a good thing. What is the least favorite thing about dating a drag queen?
Remember, my least favorite thing is the mess. Times that by 2.
Okay, I believe it. If you were a Disney princess, which one would you be?
Jasmine.
Oh, good choice. If I was a Disney princess, who would I be?
The one that's asleep.
Sleeping Beauty.
Aurora,
yeah.
Right? That's the one.
Yeah, that's because I'm sleeping when brunch should be starting. Okay, that is the rapid fire question. I only have one more for you. What are you most excited about when the shutter in place lifts and we can all go out and play? What are you just most excited to do?
Honestly, see my friends, the ones who live far away that I haven't seen at all since everything happened. I'm excited to see everyone again from all over, from 916 to the 209, all the queens I work with. I miss my friendships a lot, so I'm excited to see everyone again and just have a good time.
I'm going to give you like the longest hug when I see you. And then
I will be so drunk that I will probably just break you in half with how hard I'm squeezing back.
Okay. Well, if it's Kahlua and Bailey's, I'm in. I love you, Rosie.
No,
Thank you so much.
It's going to be straight tequila, baby.
Oh, well, for you, not for me. I don't do tequila, but I'll watch you drink it. I love you. Thank you for coming on the show.
I love you too, Angel. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. That was Roselia Valentine, and you can catch her on Twitch in Latina Cantina. And then when we get back to going to shows in person, if you're local, you can catch her at Makeup and Mimosas, which is a drag brunch, or at Queens in Comedy, which is a comedy show with drag queens in it. And you should look her up. Her information was on the screen. She is a wonderful person and a wonderful follow, so make sure you follow her. because that's one of the best drag queens you can follow. I think we're going to go with our next segment. Mean Dave, can you hear me? Oh, our next segment is In the Meantime, and it's another great follow, so make sure you follow this guy on all the social medias. He is a local comic in Northern California, and he is amazing, and I love his hot takes. Mean Dave, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm excellent, Suzette. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I have to say, so we faked it last week. Your segment was taped, and everyone thought it was live because that's how we played it. And then I got so many messages after the show, and they were like, "Why do you hate Mean Dave? Why are you texting during Mean Dave's segment?"
You know what? You don't hate me and Dave. They do, because I didn't get one Venmo the entire time, and that whole segment was about just begging, flat out begging for anybody's money. Either that, or maybe your whole audience is just not essential.
Right. I hope that's it, because if they're gonna,
be the latter. And if that's the case, totally understandable, and I no hard feelings or anything else like that.
But if anyone's essential and they're watching, we're putting the Venmos up for a reason.
If you're able to, yes. I actually opened a comedy club specifically called the Venmo at mean-dave-225 comedy club right here. So you're welcome to support the comedy club here.
Nice.
So the segment, the show seems to be, you seem to be enjoying yourself. Of course, you chickened out of your monologue this week there, Suzette.
Well, there just wasn't much news, so we did the pen pal segment.
Oh, bullshit. What do you mean there wasn't much news, huh? What are you talking about? There wasn't much news.
Tell me the news.
People are drinking Clorox. Are you shitting me? There's not much news. Man, they're drinking bleach. Whether or not the president said to drink it or inject it or mainline it, sniff it, snort it, do whatever you want. And, I think there's been people upset about people going out to the beaches or they're going, the protests, because they think the rights are being infringed, the right to try and, not get a disease. Or to get a disease, I guess. That's really what they're protesting. They want the disease or something. And then you got the bleach and whatever, the formaldehyde, the Lysol lovers. And I just want to let everybody know, please calm the fuck down. All this is doing, I think, first off, Donald Trump you ever had a job that you were trying to get fired from, but you didn't want to quit? That's kind of what I feel like he's doing. Because every one of his suggestions, one by one, are taking out the very people that would vote for him or potentially vote. So let nature take its course, and that's just good common sense right there. And beyond that, let's see, what else do we have to talk about? Where the fuck is all the toilet paper? It's been a month and a half now, and I think you're good on your assholes. Anybody who still thinks they need to wipe.
Well, they're an asshole is the problem. The assholes are probably good.
This same population was able to buy toilet paper on a regular basis, plenty of panels, and with stores, shelves plentifully full. Why all of a sudden now is are you stocking up? And it's not. Toilet paper was not really, if you're sick and you got a disease that enters your lungs, I could see paper towels, maybe. I could see
Kleenex,
off medicine, Kleenex, any of that shit, but toilet paper. You're afraid that you're not going to be able to wipe your ass. Still. I mean, canned food I could see, but no, it's still toilet paper. A month and a half in, we're still short on the toilet papers and all that.
Could this be a conspiracy by Big Bidet?
I actually was saying that earlier at another show. It is. I would not be surprised in the least if that's the truth of what's behind it. Also, people thought that this was all a giant conspiracy to divert us from an asteroid that was hitting the Earth. This was actually a letter I got. You get those messages from your friends that are the hey, this is the secret, this is the scoop.
Yeah, they're not my friends very long.
It's all been a giant front because there's a meteor, there's an asteroid that's coming to hit Earth, and it's going to obliterate life. And so the COVID has just been a distraction to get everybody to stay home and spend time with your families.
Yeah,
This was the shittiest fucking idea. If that was the end game result. Oh, let's tell them that there's this disease that is definitely real and killing people, in order to convince them to stay home before this asteroid hit. So yeah, I don't think that's real. The asteroid, I don't think the asteroid's real. Think plenty the COVID shit's real and all that. We don't need to get into all that. So, but beyond that, I will say, I heard something this past week that was very disturbing, and that was an ice cream truck in my neighborhood. Who the fuck is selling ice cream at a time like this? I get that, there's some essential services and all that, but really, if you can get ice cream right now, it's outdoor. It's everybody's scared shitless in a metal truck, metal surfaces where the virus lives, and you got candy and ice cream products being handed to children and parents of all of them and all that. The mask ain't gonna save you from tainted ice cream. So, and that holy shit. So yeah, these are just some of the things that have been on my mind this past week. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I think I'm hanging in there pretty good. I think I'm not freaking out today. And we don't know we don't have an end date as far as getting out of the quarantine. But frankly, I've been enjoying the time at home, talking to people on the onlines and all this shit. Been having some people reach out to me and say, "Hey, how you doing?" I also got a friend just 30 minutes ago. She texted me and told me that she had a dream. I'm dying on Friday, according to her dream. And so if anything happens to me on Friday, if I get on Friday, I want you to Venmo me before then. Again, Venmo at mean-dave-25. And if I die on Friday, Maddie Boyer, she's the one who had the dream. And her friend Alyssa Lundquist. Those are the two that are responsible. Avenge my fucking death. All right?
Or they have a conspiracy to kill you, and that's their cover.
Yeah, they're fucking, and that's, let's get into that. So, yeah, as far as all that, stop having dreams about me and my mortality, all right? Before I go out there and protest, go hit the beach or some shit,
Right? Show up at a park when it's closed, do something crazy.
Yeah, it's just, it's just very disgusting. If you have a dream about somebody who dies, here's a little rule. Don't fucking tell the person, The last thing you want to do is be right, But anyway, so.
Thanks, Mean Dave.
So I think that's about it. I think that's, unless you got, it's a shout out to my friend Molly over here. This is my friend Molly.
Hey, Molly.
Yeah, she's been an example to of what to do. Look out for other people. This is one of my dear friends, and out of nowhere, she stopped by and bought food for me and purchased a steak sandwich. And she actually gave me 2 extra rolls of toilet paper as backups in case, we run short. But we're all stocked up here. And I luckily also have been eating a lot of zinc. For those of you, if you want to space out your shit more, zinc. It's not only good for your immune system, hardens your shit. So they use it for diarrhea as well. So just want to give some tips out there. So, and I think that's been In the Meantime with me and Dave. Check me out on YouTube. In the Meantime with me and Dave. Episodes every week. Keeping up with this COVID bullshit. So.
Well, thanks, Mean Dave. I love having you on,
you.
and I can't wait to talk to you again.
Hell yeah. Thank you for having me, Suzette.
Bye.
Bye.
So take Mean Dave's advice and get some zinc, because the harder your shit, the less toilet paper you'll need, and the faster we'll all get through this. Or some sort of logic there. Follow him on all the social media, though, and if you have the money, if you want to throw some Venmo tips at any of my guests or me or the Stab Comedy Theater, all of it is appreciated. Most of us are out of work at the moment, and we're trying to bring you the best content we can. And sometimes we need things like highlight powder or a lapel mic or rent. But probably we're not going to get a tip that big, but any tip counts. we're going to run with a segment called Social Media of the Week. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to wait until I get the cue. And no, the picture first. Yeah. So in Denver this week, a bunch of nurses, formed a blockade to stop cars from running into people. And a brilliant Twitter user tweeted that it's a little bit ironic because he is standing in scrubs and she's hanging out of the best friend's ride, hollering at him. And if you don't know what that is, there's a song that goes with it. Here we go. Here's the song. Tell me when it's done. So that is the social media of the week, and I thought it was hilarious. And if you were alive when TLC was a band, you too thought it was hilarious. And if you weren't, then you missed out on a lot, because Lisa Left Eye Lopez is a lot to talk about. And that is social media of the week. And oh, really quick, before we get to our next guest, I just have a suggestion. The white ladies don't like Karen, and that's okay. They're not all Karen. But the one hanging out of that truck, she looked like a Kathy Ann to me. That's what she looked like. So if you guys want a new name to call people, you can call them a Kathy Ann, because that's what she looked like. Anyway, we're going to go to our next guest. She is an amazing, dynamic comedian. She's also super busy. She does like 18 things. She does trivia. She bakes cakes. She does comedy. She does theater. She is a mom. Oh, and I'm forgetting one thing. Let's bring her on so she can tell me what I'm forgetting. Hey, Chelsea.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. I miss shows where I have a drink in my hand. But other than that, I'm great.
How do you not have a drink? That was a requirement. I was like, no, this is kind of comedy. I'm kind of drinking. Like that's
because I need a mixed drink.
Girl, you failed.
I did fail. So what's the sixth thing? What did I miss? I failed twice.
I don't even know. I lost count. Who cares? I do everything.
You do?
Yeah.
No, seriously. Like, I went to message Chelsea today, and I was like, wait, is she doing something? And so I checked her Facebook, and sure enough, she was live hosting trivia.
Yeah. I host trivia twice a week. So I hosted trivia once a week here in Benicia. I'm in Northern California. I'm in Benicia. And then when the quarantine happened, I was like, you can still host trivia. Who gives a shit? So, can I cuss? Is that bad? I don't care. It's happening. So I started hosting trivia on Facebook Live. Great. It worked. I do it for tips. This is constantly on my wall at all times. So I host trivia for tips. I do it on Thursday at 7 o'clock and Sundays at 2 p.m. And I do trivia, and then I mail out prizes. So people actually win shit. It's dope. It's dope.
So people should definitely follow your trivia and watch you and play.
Yeah.
Because you mail them shit.
Oh yeah, totally. And I I sell pure romance. So sometimes I sell like sex, or I send out like sex stuff, or and I own a bakery. So sometimes I make freshly baked like cupcakes, and then those are the prizes. So it changes every single week. It depends on how I feel.
That sounds like a really good deal. I think everyone should watch you anyway, but now you sweeten the pot. Pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. So question, when this is all over and we go back to normal life, are you going to leave your Venmo sign on the wall, like maybe frame it?
For all times. This shit's never leaving me. I might get it tattooed on me. I'm not above that at all.
Oh shit, then you can't
My tattoos are dumb. My tattoos are so dumb, you guys. Like, look at, that's the clown shoe from fucking Roger Rabbit. I don't care. Yeah, this will be up for the rest of my life. I'm obsessed with it.
So when you're doing trivia, I've come in person, and it's a lot of fun, and people can't cheat. But when you're doing it online, people can Google things.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I noticed today you hold up a picture of like a character, and you're like, who's this? And I love the way you're doing it because it's so you. You're like, who's this? Who's this character? Name this character. Give me both names. He has a first name and last name. Name the character.
I'm really aggressive in almost everything that I do.
A little bit.
Like, it's just a little bit too much, and that's kind of how I like it.
That's okay.
But yeah, I started doing picture rounds where I'll hold up a picture you know. And here, I'll do one for your people in your chat right now.
Awesome.
So I'll hold up a picture of, let's say, a cartoon character, and you have to tell me the first and last name of this guy.
Viewers,
See?
do you know?
Do you remember that guy? Do you remember him?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, secret. I can't actually see you.
Oh, you can't see me. Oh, great. I look phenomenal, by the way.
You always do. But I just want to say I
busted
probably know who it is, because when in today's chat you were like, you only need the first name of this character from the Rugrats, and it was Chucky, and I was like, Finster, duh. Everybody
I just
knows.
held up Chucky right now. That was the character I chose.
Boom, Johnny Carson. What?
You're a witch. You're an actual witch. I know it.
Chucky Finster.
So it is Chucky Finster. That is absolutely right. So I started doing picture rounds because I didn't want people. I know that people can Google shit, and it's like, I'm not dumb. I get it. But then I started doing picture rounds because it's like, let's even the playing field a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. You can't Google that shit. You
Right.
know?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's gonna take. They'd have to be like weird looking.
It'll
cartoon
take
kid,
longer, but
red
someone's
hair,
gonna know it
glasses.
before you, capture it, Google search, image it, da-da-da.
Yeah,
Ugh.
for sure. So one of the things that occupies your time, and I'm gonna be careful. I want to rephrase this. Everything you do, you want to be doing, and you're glad that it occupies your time. But one of the things that occupies your time.
I'm one of those people who I have to be too busy. If I have idle time, I get weirded out. I don't do well with like time off. Time to rest and chill. I don't operate like that. I can't handle it.
That's 100% true. One time I Marco Polo'd Chelsea when she was like on vacation, and she was just sitting there, and she looked like she was stressed out because she was doing nothing. She was just sitting in a chair, just like shaking and biting her nails. And I was like, what? Go host Island Trivia or something. Like, find the people there will let you do something. Probably.
I don't do it well.
I know you watch Saturday Night Live, or not Saturday Night Live, In Living Color, right? Like, you had to watch it growing up.
Oh, I thought you meant currently. I was like, that's kind of old. Can we?
No, yeah.
I literally thought you meant like currently, and I was like, no, I don't.
No, I meant back in the day.
I'm really anxious to see where you're going with this. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I still to this day make the joke that like you have like 6 jobs, you must be Jamaican, or like 6 jobs, das all man. Like, and people don't get that joke, and I think it's a hilarious reference.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't do it.
Okay.
But I do. But I do have 6 jobs. That's real life. Like, I do. I started a bakery, so I bake custom cakes and cookies and not cookies, cupcakes and shit out of my house. So I do that. My kid is almost 4, so I have a 4-year-old son running around. I don't know where he is, but he's fine. I trivia host. I karaoke host. So I have like a lot of jobs that I do. And I also do stand-up comedy. That's a big one. I also am an actress. So I do plays and stuff in Berkeley and San Francisco. And so I'm constantly doing, that, auditioning for those things. So I have things that are constantly, the cool thing about being your own boss and doing that many jobs is that you're able to kind of make your own schedule. Like, you can just conform it to whatever you want it to be and still be as successful as you want to be. Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Totally. I want to actually talk about the cakes, which is something that I know you do it on your own schedule, and you are always working on cakes, and they are amazing. I mean, you are a little bit beholden on the ordering that people do, so like you can only make them after they've been ordered. But your cakes are amazing, and we're gonna go ahead and display some cakes.
Thank you.
What is the first?
Oh, are you showing pictures?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, I love it.
We're gonna try to get you some corn business. I think the first cake, is it the dick cake? Let's do the dick cake first. So you had a cake, so everyone can hear you, and they're going to see the cake instead of you. You had a cake go viral. Tell us about that cake. Oh, they're seeing. Okay, so I'm gone, and you're there, and the cake's there. I like that better. Okay, so tell us about the dick cake.
I'm still on camera?
You are.
With my cake?
With your cake.
Is it this way or this way?
There it is.
There you go.
There we go. That's my dick cake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So that was a divorce cake for a fellow comedian named Liz Stone. She's based out of San Francisco. She's great. Follow her.
I love her.
And she her divorce went final, like it got finalized. It was, yay, secure, done. I don't know what the wording is. And she wanted to have a divorce party, so she asked me to make a dick cake for her. And all she wanted was the text messages from her now ex-husband to the woman that he was cheating on her with, and a penis that said somehow incorporate the words limp dick. No, she said she just wanted a limp dick. She didn't want the words, but I put the words on because they're hilarious.
Right.
So then I posted, I made that whole cake and delivered it to her. And I actually posted it the day before my birthday, this December. And I posted it at 10:30 at night. And I woke up and it had been shared 2 million times in the middle of the night. And I was like, wait, what? And my page now, my bakery page on Facebook was shared that day 4 million times in the 24-hour period.
That is a lot of dick.
Yeah, people love, and it's a dumbass thing. I made a fondant dick out of sugar fucking Play-Doh in 3 minutes and famous. I mean, it's the stupidest shit.
Isn't that like because I'm kind of, I'm nowhere near as active and awesome as you, but like I do a lot of things.
That is true. What you just said is true.
I know.
I love you. It's true.
I know. But I do have my hand and my feet in a lot of different places, and I'm trying to do a lot of things. And it's crazy the thing that ends up getting the most views. You're like, I never would have expected it to be that, but I guess it's going to be a cake with a dick.
I cannot tell you. I was so surprised that one went viral. And then, from there, I was getting people sending me like requests, like cake orders from overseas. Like people in New Zealand, people in Wales, people in Scotland. They were like, do you ship cakes? And I was like, y'all don't have one bakery? Like it was very, very strange.
Have you ever shipped a cake? Like what's the
No.
furthest, so you only hand deliver them?
No. People come and pick them up mostly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, the furthest I've delivered a cake, I think, is San Jose. You know what I mean? Like it's not far.
Do you have any
but-
plans to ship them?
Yes, and I have complete ability to ship a cake now. I have a business account with FedEx, which is now a thing that I had to do because I made a dick out of fondant. So now I have to up my shit and do things. So yeah, there you go.
I didn't know it was I thought it was just texts from Liz's boyfriend to her. I didn't know they were from the boyfriend to the girlfriend. That makes it,
Yeah.
that's chef's kiss right there. Like, bravo to both you ladies.
It was deep. And then she has video. Liz actually made video of her cutting into the cake, and she used a knife that was obscene. I mean, this knife was inappropriate for this size cake.
Oh, go ahead.
But that's what she did, and she was just hacking into this thing, and you could tell it was very therapeutic for her to get this shit out.
I might need to see if she'll come on and show that video.
Oh my God, absolutely. She'll be on here in a second. Are you kidding me? Call her right now. She's not doing shit. She's doing yoga with her cats.
Well, that sounds amazing, but I want to talk about more of your cakes. So the next cake we're going to bring up is, let's do the Dumb and Dumber cake. Tell us about that.
This one was fun. Is it the same side?
Yep.
Look at that. So this cake was for a fellow comedian as well, David Liu, who is based out of Northern California as well.
I love David Liu.
David Liu, he wanted a birthday cake, and he was like, I want it based off of a movie, but I don't know which one. And so then he actually, he was like, why don't we just do Dumb and Dumber? And I was like, oh my God, I've never even seen a Dumb and Dumber cake. So then I just started picking out the, famous things like, the dog thing and the two hats. But then I was like, we need to take this over the edge. And that's when I created that dead bird, that Petey, with the taped on head. I had to, like, if I'm going to go balls deep in a Dumb and Dumber cake, we're going to make it really Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I was going to say you made it Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb. Yeah, it's super cool. And everything on that cake that you see is edible. Oh, my sign fell. That's the universe. If that's not the universe, I don't know what is. But
maybe that means someone tipped you.
That is not true. Okay, next.
Well, wishful thinking. Which cake is next? Just throw one up, and we'll talk about that one. let's talk about the coronavirus cake. Thanks,
Oh,
Jesse.
that's right. I was actually surprised this one took so long to get ordered. I thought people were going to want coronavirus cakes like crazy. And I was actually nervous because when they said coronavirus cake, she just kind of gave it to me and she was like, do whatever you want. And I was like, all right. So I was going to make a cake and then just have little things that have gone viral, like the toilet paper, the hand sanitizer, all that stuff. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. The cake itself is round. Let's just make that the toilet paper. So then I did that. And it was actually, I don't know if you can see this in the picture, but it was actually for a group of nurses that work at Kaiser. So you know how toilet paper is quilted and they have like the pictures and shit like quilted onto the actual like toilet paper itself?
Mm-hmm.
I did that with the Kaiser logo. And I just like made indents in the white fondant of the toilet paper so that it looked like indented toilet paper quilted with the Kaiser logo. So that's how I incorporated, who it was for. You
debossed the Kaiser logo into the toilet paper cake.
Yeah.
Bitch, your cakes are so good. Okay, tell us let me rephrase. Your cakes are great. Tell us about the Cookie Monster cake.
Cookie Monster cake. Oh, is this the Cookie Monster with like the street sign underneath it with the
Yes,
dot,
it is.
polka dot? That one? Okay, yeah. So that one, that was for a 2-year-old. Here in Benicia, I'm part of a mom's group because moms need so much help. Oh my God. And so this was for a friend of mine. And yeah, it's just, I was like super excited to make a, oh my God, I got tipped. I got tipped. Thank you. Yeah, they said they wanted Cookie Monster and I was like, dope, I'm going to make a whole Cookie Monster head. I got you. So I just made a bunch of blue fur and created it. It's just, I like when it's a challenge. I don't like to do cakes that I've done multiple times. I like when I get to be super creative and super hands-on and just as, how do I make this cake edible, but make it not look edible? Like I'm making blue fur for Christ's sake. How do I make that look like Cookie Monster, but also delicious? It's a fun game,
I'm going to say that you just described exactly the way that you do stand-up.
Oh, what did I even say? I blacked out. What did I say?
Well, I'm going to kind of paraphrase it. You don't like doing the same things multiple times, and you want to take something that shouldn't be what someone's expecting and make it a little bit something different.
Oh my God, that's exactly how I do stand-up. That's so crazy. You're so brilliant. Oh my God, brush your hair, bitch. You earned it.
I'm a witch. Okay, so are people ordering more or less cakes right now?
Oh, because of the quarantine?
Yeah. Sorry.
You know what's happening is I'm getting a lot of I got a lot of orders canceled because big events were being canceled. I had 2 weddings that were canceled, two baby showers that were canceled, a bunch of birthdays that were canceled. But what they're doing now is they're ordering smaller cakes to still celebrate, but with just their immediate families. So it's weird because I'm like equally as busy as I was, but I'm only making small individual cakes for everybody. And then it's just the details are different. You know what I mean? So That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool just only making small cakes because I don't have to worry about stacking it and moving the fridge space. And my roommate can't put her juice in the fridge because I've put a devil's food cake that looks like a Disney villain inside and she can't touch the fridge for 24 hours. So it's like it's kind of cool to only be doing small little cakes. It's kind of nice. Because when I'm juggling this many jobs, it's like I don't have all this time to devote to this job. I have to split it all up.
Mm-hmm. Let's put a pin in your roommate and what's in the fridge with her juice, because I want to come back to that. Supplies. What's it like getting supplies for baking right now?
Right now, it's not too bad because restaurants are still open. Mm-hmm. The restaurant supply stores are as well, and I have wholesale restaurant supply stores that I go to and get supplies. And because they're still open, because restaurants are still open, I'm still good. So I do have to go to the grocery store every now and then. And that's a terrifying thing now because you can't touch anything or breathe on anybody it's terrifying, but I get it done. So it's fine.
Right on. Does baking help you de-stress?
Decorating helps me de-stress. The baking part is boring as shit to me. I hate that part.
Okay, I actually disagree with you because David Shapiro, he's a contributor later in the show. He said
He's all right.
He's all right. Yeah, I don't really like him at all. But he said that because I bake, like you bake, but he cooks and I don't cook, and he said that baking is for not creative people.
Well, baking, I mean, I'm not completely disagreeing with that because baking, you can follow a recipe, and as long as you get the right measuring cup, measuring spoon, you figure it out, you follow directions, you can be good. Now, decorating, that's where the creativity comes in. If I give you a blank cake, a blank white cake, and I say, turn this into a cake about Stranger Things, go. And that's what I get as a baker. People are like, this is my favorite show. Do it.
I just want to say that there's something really creative about following directions to a T, and the temperature and the time and the right, because not everybody can pour 1/8 of a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Anyway, moving on.
I mean, there's something really good about following directions. I wouldn't call it like a skill. That's just reading.
Oh, you haven't had a bad cake made by someone who can't measure.
I'm good. I'm good.
So you are a mom that occupies a lot of your time. What's it like? What's it like being a mom during quarantine?
Oh, it's exhausting. I mean, it's exhausting being a mom anyway, but then like keeping a toddler entertained, it's a lot. You know, it's kind of good though, because it forces you to get out of the house. It forces you to keep moving. You know, you have to keep things juggling. So it just, it forces me to not sit around and be, lazy and complacent and just chill. You know what I mean? Which is very easy to do. And I don't have my son on weekends, which is a very, very big plus because I co-parent with his father and he takes him on the weekends so that I can continue to do shows and continue to do cakes and stuff like that, which is great. So that's the time that if I do have any sort of downtime to like rest or relax or try to put my feet up for 10 minutes, that's when I do it, is on the weekends. But when I have him, oh no, it's constant walks. We're playing games. We're doing a lot of, sidewalk chalk, all that shit. It's just, yeah.
So he has a birthday coming up, right?
Yeah,
And
May 6th.
You're doing a cool thing. Do you mind sharing what you're doing for his party, like for his
Sure,
birthday?
yeah. And
just for parents out there who might be in the same situation.
Yeah, no, it's a thing that a lot of people are doing now. A lot of people are doing these birthday parades where people just drive by the house, with banners or balloons. They honk their horn, they play music, they scream and shout and wave. And it's just to show some appreciation and love because we can't do birthday parties right now. So the cool thing is that I asked a few people to like send cards as opposed to gifts, just so that Chance has, that's my son, Chance is 4 years old. He's turning 4 years old. Just so that he has like cards to open from people. And I want to be able to put some of these cards in a scrapbook because this is a major event that's happening in the world, and he's a part of that. He's not going to remember it, but he's a part of it. So these are things that I want to put away for him and just be like, this is what was happening at this time when you were turning 4, and we survived this. We thrived during this, and this is why, So I really want to have this stuff and just put it away so that he has it for later.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't remember, because I have like a couple memories before 5. So he might remember the parade. That's such a cool idea.
Yeah. Oh, no. He might remember the parade. But what I'm alluding to is the reason why we can't have a birthday.
Right.
He probably won't remember that. And it's hard for little kids to comprehend what's happening in the world right now. Like explaining to him why we can't go to his friend's house and play, who we see every single week. He doesn't get it. So that's what I mean. I just want to put stuff away so that he knows this is what was happening in the world, and this is why we couldn't see our friends, and this is why I had to spend the 4th birthday of my life the way that I did.
Right. Like, yeah, we're all living through something that's never happened in human history.
Right.
So, so another thing that occupies your time and the way I met you is doing stand-up comedy. So last week on the show, we had a couple comics, and they were like, no, absolutely not. I will not do Zoom shows. It is not for me. The medium is not for me. How do you feel about Zoom comedy shows?
Zoom comedy shows can be terrible or pretty good. And it's kind of along that spectrum. It's going to take definitely some, trial and error. on everybody's part. The way that I do comedy, and I had my best friend Miles Weber living with me for him and his wife lived with me for just over a month, and him and I we do comedy. We're very interactive when it comes to our comedy, so we do a lot of crowd work, we do a lot of talking with the audience, building jokes up right now, and we just like to do that. And so when we went into quarantine, we were terrified because we're like, yeah, we could stand in a room and do just written material that we've tried and that is tried and true. But that's not really how we grow as comics. Him and I, we write a lot from the stage. We write a lot when we're riffing. And so we started doing Zoom shows for people like they would get their businesses involved. Maybe the entire office pays $20. Each person pays $20. That money goes to the comedians that are performing. Or if it's a free show, they just encourage tipping, you know what I mean? And so some of them have been pretty lucrative that way. But otherwise, as long as everybody is muted and the people that are running the show, the comedians, have the ability to unmute one at a time and talk with people and interact and do that crowd work, that's how we've been surviving some Zoom shows. So if we're in control of it and we run it the way that we see fit because that fits our style of comedy, then we're fine. We're totally good.
So good segue, because you and Miles were doing it. I think you're done now, but you were doing.
Thank God we're done. Yeah.
I tried to get a clip. I tried to get a clip of this show. So the show that you guys were doing, the thing you got, the mistake that you guys committed over and over and over.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got you. Was called Truth or Cup, and then it evolved to Truth or Dare or Cup, and that's where you and your best friend, your comedy partner Miles Weber, you guys would answer questions from people like, do you hate Suzette Veneti? And you'd be like, oh, I'm on her show next week. I don't want to answer. I'm going to drink what's in this cup. And,
right.
And then
so what basically what Truth or Cup was we had cups that had mystery food or drink items underneath them, and we didn't know what they were. We had no idea. When Heather, his wife, was living with us, she would do it, and then when Heather went back to Vegas to take care of their house and stuff, then Miles would do cups for me and I would do cups for Miles. So we still didn't know what was under the cups. And then we were just basically playing a game of Truth or Dare. If anybody tagged in and asked us a question or gave us a dare and we didn't do it or we didn't answer it, then they got to choose a cup that we had to ingest. Or if they gave us a tip on my Venmo, then they got to choose a cup that we had to ingest. And we were doing fine. We were doing absolutely fine. We did a few shows. There was some gross stuff. There was some good stuff. One of the shows was all alcohol. But last night was the ringer. I said, hey, let's do a bonus one. Let's do a bonus one before you go back to Vegas. Let's do a bonus one. So we did a bonus one. And I said, but all bets are off. Let's do the grossest combinations that we can. And I swear to God, and I never thought this would happen, I threw up on social media. And it was me. I was done.
I watched it happen live. I don't think people watching the show right now, because I watched a couple of these live, and then of course I watched a couple of them trying to look for footage that I ultimately was unable to get.
Yeah.
So, what made you throw up? Tell the people, because they're
was the combination?
They're at home thinking this is like tea and like honey, and it's like, no, that's not tea and honey.
Oh, no. What actually did it? Now, mind you, there were 4 cups before this that I had to do. And I think one was apple cider vinegar and lime juice. That was one. One had, I think it had tequila and hot sauce, Cholula hot sauce in it. That was one.
Yep.
But anyway, the one that did it was sriracha mayonnaise mixed with moonshine. That was it. And that damn cup, that was full. And we both had to do a cup at the same time. I had the sriracha mayo and moonshine, and he had peanut butter, pasta sauce, and whiskey that I mixed up into a chunky formula. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting.
The clip that I kept trying to get was the rose egg.
he made me a rose egg because I had rose in the fridge, and then he used egg whites and whipped that shit up so it was frothy and disgusting. And yeah,
And
I do not recommend.
Miles is watching right now, right?
I don't know.
He was at one point. You guys are nasty. Like, that's not. I can take any dare ever or any truth, but like I am not.
And I thought that I had an iron stomach because I have not thrown up in years. Absolute years. Yeah. And that's what did it.
You guys were mixing the grossest stuff. And then the names. There was another name. I can't remember. I should have gotten the clip. It was with Cholula. Do you remember the name?
I think it was tequila. And I think it was something like, Tachula or tequila. It was something
Chiquila,
like that.
I don't. Yeah, he had good names for him, and you guys both. There was a villain. There was a villain in this show, and the villain was Dan Myers. Over and over, every episode.
That's true.
I know. Northern California comic
episodes.
Dan Myers. He's definitely not watching the show right now, but he was the villain. Tell everyone what he was doing.
Yeah, so Dan Myers definitely he jumped in right away, and he was like, okay, so how much for Miles to drink all 5 of those? And I was like, $100. And he was like, what are you talking about? He was like, wait, you don't get to name the price.
Oh, no, so he was way more animated than that. He was like, no, you don't answer. You name your own price. I'm not doing it for 100. I'm not doing it for 100.
Right.
I just watched it.
And it's true. And Dan Myers, there was a time when Dan Myers actually paid $250 for Miles to just plow through this, go, and just shoot him. And that's actually what sparred the conversation for Miles to shave his head on camera and get money for it. And we raised money for Laughs Unlimited, the comedy club in Sacramento. We raised money on their Instagram one day. And if we reached a certain number, we would split that money with them, and Miles would shave his head live on Instagram, and he did.
That's cool. Yeah. I know some comics and some drag queens that are doing things like that, and I think that's really cool. Not only that we're trying to get paid, because I haven't been paid for a gig in almost a month and a half.
I mean, you can't really blame that on the quarantine, right, though?
Oh, yeah, I know. Thank you. I love you. See, I was like, I hope.
Throw that shade, girl.
It
was getting too lovey in here. I needed to throw some shade.
I know. I was like, I hope my drag family is watching, because they're going to be like, damn, that bitch read her so bad.
The library is open, bitch.
I don't have glasses, but the library, it's always open with you. It's a 24-hour establishment. It never closes. Okay. I want to ask you some rapid-fire questions. Are you ready?
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Okay. What is your favorite thing about the concept of brunch?
Oh, mimosas.
Okay. Bottomless?
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure you're not like a one mimosa person. What is your favorite? Who is your favorite drag queen?
Suzette Veneti. Have you heard of her?
Oh,
she's great.
Thank you.
Okay. Suzette Veneti and Bianca Del Rio. Bianca Del Rio is my spirit animal.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm always like, I'll ask audiences if they've ever seen a drag comedian before, and they're like, Bianca Del Rio. And I'm like, right, and let's stop there. Me and her, same sentence. We don't need to go any further.
Yeah. Latrice Royale is also one of my faves because I've seen her live as well. And she retweeted one of my... We've had correspondence. Don't worry about it.
She's amazing. Let's do a show. I mean, maybe she's watching. Let's just go ahead and say maybe Latrice is watching.
Hi, Latrice.
Let's do a show where, I'll host it and we'll have Latrice in it and we'll have you close it out, and that can be a Queens in Comedy.
I am with it. Oh,
okay,
my
cool.
God.
We just need to talk to Latrice and her people. Yeah. All right, back to rapid fire. What is your least favorite children's television show?
Oh my God, Blippi. Have you seen this piece of shit?
I have.
He is a pilled out garbage human. If there's someone I could watch get hit by a bus and die, it's Blippi. And then we would teach kids about death. So see, it's like it works. Everything works. It's full circle.
I love that the messages we're putting out on my show, like Latrice Royale, do a show with us. Blippi, go to hell and die.
Oh, absolutely. He gets it daily. Fuck him. It's fine. Go.
What is the funniest thing an audience member has ever said to you after a show?
Oh, I have a bunch of shows. I have a bunch of jokes about my boobs because I have really big boobs, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Oh no. So I went from talking about my boobs to being a new mom, because at this point my son was very, very young. He was less than a year old, but I still went back to work, right? And an audience member came up to me at the end of the show. Creepy ass old man, creepy ass old man came up to me at the end of the show, and he puts his hand on my shoulder and he goes, "Hey, you know what? They make ice cream out of breast milk now." And he said that, winked, and then walked away. Swear to God, it was the creepiest thing I've ever experienced in my life. But I also headlined a show in Modesto once, and after my set, like people were milling out of the venue, right? And me and Paul Conyers, we were selling our merch, and one of the audience members ran to his van with no fucking windows, ran to his van, pulled it up to the front door. Pulled it up to the front door, and he filled up a bag of like items that were in the back of his van and gave it to me as a gift. And what it was a box of diapers. There were some wipes in there. There was a bag of fun-size Butterfingers, and there were 2 boxes of pregnancy tests. And he goes, "Here you go. You were great tonight," and walks away. Swear to God.
You know, I think he was just a misunderstood baby shower planner.
Right.
And if anyone is not laughing at that, you've not been to a baby shower where they put Butterfingers in diapers.
God, it was so terrible. He was so creepy.
I had a follow-up question somewhere in there, but I lost my train of thought with that creepy windowless van.
I know. I've had some creepers.
Shout out to Paul Conyers.
Yay!
I had him in a show. I've never had a straight white guy, and he did like 5 minutes of like blowjob material, like gay blowjob material, and I was like, what's happening right now? What happened to straight guys? Okay. The election in 2016 messed everything up. What is your favorite karaoke song?
Oh my God, this is such a loaded question. You guys don't get it. I'm a award-winning karaoke singer. I have 6 or 7 trophies on my mantle. That's a real thing that I'm saying.
I know.
And I am. I was on a New York City karaoke league when I lived in New York. I helped run the karaoke league. I'm a big karaoke fan and advocate. I was a host for 17 plus years. Don't get me started on karaoke. I will walk into a bar that has karaoke and I will look at the entire audience and I will read them for at least 20 minutes because I need to know what my opening song is. Now, your opening song in karaoke has to be fucking amazing because you have to pave it. Okay, you have to start. This is serious, Suzette. Don't you dare give me side eye or don't give me fucking attitude. I'll punch you in the throat.
I'm thinking like, should we save this for a segment?
Oh, it's a segment, baby. It's a segment. Karaoke is a very, very important thing.
That wasn't a side eye. That was like, where's a pen? I'm gonna write down this information. And I was like, I don't have a pen. Fuck it. I want to.
It's like a formula.
You should just
swear
come on.
to God.
Well, okay. So you want to save that for a segment, or do you want to?
We'll save it.
We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it. Okay. But you didn't answer the question. What's your favorite karaoke song?
Okay, one of my favorites. I'm gonna say because I won $1,000 singing this song. I'm gonna say Jackson 5. I Want You Back. That song is dope, and it's super fun to sing, and no one ever sings it. And if you can hit those notes, you are God. Boom.
I can hit no notes, so I will stay away from it. What is your least favorite karaoke song to
Baby
sing?
Shark.
Oh, yeah.
I've sung it multiple times. I've run kids karaoke, and I've had to do Baby Shark. Hate it.
That's fair. That's a good answer. Do you put your bra on and snap it in front and then spin it around? Or do you?
Absolutely not.
You snap it behind your back?
My boobs are massive. So I'm saying if I do that, I run the risk of bringing my boobs with me and then them snapping back. And no.
Okay.
I have to put my arms in, put it on, bend over, shake them in, and then bend in the back and do it behind my back.
You need the Tony Stark machine in the first couple Iron Mans where it like puts the thing on him.
Yeah, you lost me with that one, but probably.
Okay, I'll send you a clip.
I can't wait.
How high is too high for high heels?
Oof. I used to wear 6-inch heels, and that was around Manhattan. I used to walk around Manhattan with 6-inch heels. But now I'd probably say 3 is probably my limit to go for any length of time. I'm a mom and I'm overweight, so sorry, bitch.
Well, I'm wearing 6-inch heels under the desk right now, just because.
It's easy to do when you're sitting down. Okay, I'm just saying.
People have seen me stumble and fall down in the 6-inch heels that I always wear.
I know, yeah. You don't get Hot Mess as your nickname by an accident. I'm just saying, okay?
There's a lot of reasons, but that's one of them. Okay. What is your favorite cake flavor?
Devil's Food. And I make Devil's Food. It's a Devil's Food chocolate cake. And I make peanut butter buttercream or espresso buttercream. Sometimes I do mint. And I like those 3 flavors with chocolate. It's really, really good.
Who is your favorite Disney character?
Oh my God, that's such a good question.
Do you need like a top 3 or something? Because
let me give you a few. Okay, so I really like Dopey. Okay, I really like Dopey. You know, I like Dopey because he's old school, so he's been around for a minute. But he also can, just go with the flow, and he can make you laugh without saying anything. And that, to me, any physical humor, brilliant. Like Wally. I like Wally as well because he's a robot, but he exudes so much emotion. It's crazy. I also like Mike Wazowski because he's sarcastic as fuck. And if you can speak sarcasm, you are one of my best friends. I love Mike Wazowski. And then I would probably say Moana's strong. I like Moana because she's like kind of a badass bitch. I kind of like Moana. I'd say that. But Ursula's kind of Ursula. Yeah, Ursula's dope. I'm obsessed with Ursula. She was like my first drag queen. You know what I mean? Like in my life.
Right. I think she was a lot of people's first drag queen. They just don't know it.
Yeah. I love her.
I like her when she becomes her human form, Vanessa.
Oh, okay.
That's
all right.
a bad
You like
bitch.
her in face. All right.
Yeah. If you were a Disney princess, which one would you be?
Ooh. No. I would be a villain.
Okay, which villain would you be?
Ursula.
Okay. That would have been weird.
Or Maleficent because she can wear a hat with horns. Dope.
True. If I was a Disney princess, which one would I be?
I heard you say this with the queen that was on, and she said Sleeping Beauty because you sleep like a bitch. You sleep so much, and that was a very good answer. I like that. But I think you know what? You know who you would be to me? You would be Ariel when she loses her voice and she's like learning to walk. That's you. That's you. You would be Ariel when she does not know how to be a human. That's you. Now brush your hair with a fork, bitch. Do it right now. Get your dingle hopper. Thank you.
I have a purse with a fork in it.
I can't handle you.
It's over there. I can't get to, but it's really there.
believe you.
Because I do carry my dingle hopper at all times. That's a good answer, except I'm going to say everyone watching is like, I wish she would lose her voice. at least all my friends. That is the end of the rapid fire question. And my final question for you is, what are you most excited for when the quarantine lifts, when we can go back outside? What are you excited to do?
You know, I play the role of being a bitch and having no filter and being kind of an asshole all day long. But
you're playing? That's not just normal?
If I'm being completely serious, I'm really excited to just get back into the clubs, hug my friends, say hi, just give huge hugs back to people. That's what I'm excited about, is just giving hugs to my friends and finally, booking a flight to go see my sister, like actually planning things out to leave my home. That's what I'm excited about. Because I'm such a busy person that it's like, it's weird to be this busy but never leave this premises. So it's like, I really want to just be busy and go somewhere and do something, because it'll make this busy feeling feel a little bit more, I don't know, complete.
Right? You want a well-rounded busy feeling.
Right.
I don't know your sister. I've never met her, but the fact that she also knows Finster is Chucky's last name, she's good in my book.
Oh, yeah. You and my sister would get along famously. I can't wait for you to meet my sister.
Okay,
You'll
I'm
love
excited.
her.
I'm excited. So that was my interview. Thank you for hanging around, going along with us. And
Absolutely. I'm sorry I keep talking so long.
I
I'm
don't
sorry
care.
it was longer. Okay.
There was
okay.
just a Facebook comment from Jerome Shapiro, and he said Chelsea is fabulous. So.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much.
I can't wait to see you in person. I can't wait to give you a hug. And I've told you this.
I need to hug you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Wait, don't go. I want to say one thing just while you're still here, because I've said this to you, but just to everyone else watching, you are always welcome back. You can do a segment. It can be about karaoke. It can be whatever you want.
Done. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's
I love
happening.
you.
I love you. Thank you, Stab.
Friends, that was Chelsea Bearce. You can follow her on her social medias. She is amazing. She is dynamic, and she is one of my favorite comics. And we're going to go to one of my least favorite people and comics in the world. Is he almost ready?
Yeah, we're going to see if we can hear him.
Okay. We'll see if I can hear him. We're going to bring back on local actor, comic, producer, David Shapiro. David?
Hey, Suzette. Thanks for having me back.
Okay.
Oh,
we can't hear
yeah.
him. We can skip him for this week.
Yeah, it's my favorite drag queen, Apple Adams. Gotta...
All right, David, hang tight. We're going to come back to you.
Well, I mean... No, you're not.
We'll figure it out. This is
no, I'm sorry. Practical germophobia actually is taking a little more time than expected, but it's because we're putting a lot of quality into it.
Okay.
We should have an episode ready by the end of next week. I promise.
Next week we'll have a better system, but this week we had a set, so big improvements every week at the Suzette Veneti Show, thanks to Jesse Jones. All right. Local actor, producer, comic, David Shapiro. David, can you hear me?
Hey, Suzette. Thanks for having me back.
We're still having trouble with you, David. Okay.
Yeah,
knows
it's my
what's
favorite drag queen,
I'm gonna
Apple
just
Adams.
say to anyone watching,
Gotta...
David is not worth this much.
Well,
work.
I mean...
Chelsea?
No,
sure.
You're not.
Ellis is next? Absolutely. David Shapiro? Garbage.
No, I'm sorry. Practical germophobia actually is taking a little more time than expected, but it's because we're putting a lot of quality into it.
Okay. Well, we'll bring it back on next week. Sorry, David Shapiro. You're on Matt Damon.
We should have
That's
an episode ready by the end of next week. I promise.
Just won't get to you, but that means we're going to round out the show with Ellis Rodriguez. No. Lost him, too. Okay, cool. Then that's the end of the show, guys. Thanks for hanging around. We went a little bit long. We lost David. We lost Ellis. We'll definitely bring back Ellis.
They can hear David, but we can't hear David in here.
Ah.
So it's an issue.
Oh, yeah. You guys could hear David, but we can't hear him in the studio.
Yeah, so that was the thing. There's a whole setup involved in this, and I forgot one step that I would have to climb up on a ladder for and try and reset everything, and I actually need that over here. Yeah, we can't get David. They could hear him, but you couldn't hear him back here in the studio.
That's why we can't do an interview.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to go back to him next week. Don't worry about it. Thank you for watching the show. This was the second ever Suzette Veneti show. We have a regular time slot now, Sundays at 7-ish. We started a little bit late tonight, but next week hopefully we'll be on time. There's a lot of things you could do on Sundays. You could be watching The Last Dance on ESPN, but if you chose to spend your time with us, we appreciate it, and we'll try to bring back some awesome guests and comics and drag queens and anyone else that I can think of next week to you guys. Thank you so much, and have a great night. Okay. Do I have a live mic?
Been grounded your whole life, so now you run wild. Playing with them good girls, no, that ain't your style. You think you're hot shit, and ooh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah. Stumbling, but yeah, you're still looking hella fun. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll make you mine. Well, you're a hot mess, and I'm falling for you. And I'm like, hot damn, let me make you my boo. 'Cause you can shake it, shake it, shake it. Yeah, you know what to do. You're a hot mess, I'm loving it, hell yeah. lovely, I want your disease, I want your everything as long as it's free. I want your love, 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 I want your love. I want the drama and the touch of your hand. I want your leather-studded kissing in the sand. I want your love, 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 I want your love.